crowd. Now she spent the on the bathroom sink. Her mother would be so proud. Gets on a deed and there's a line to go pee, but the bathroom looks like a war zone.
Forgot I had another button to hit. What's going on? Welcome to episode 168 of Phired Up. Check us out at firesports.com. I'm Mike Little. Joining me as always, Dom Console. What's going on, man?
Yo, what's going on, man?
Not much. So that's just a case of we're still trying to learn this program here. So
Yeah.
we'll get through the kinks. But I wasn't here last week, right? It was just you and Chris holding things down, right?
Correct.
It seems like it was so long ago, but yet like yesterday at the same time.
Yeah.
So what's going on? I mean, we didn't have Eagles this weekend to disappoint us, so that was good.
Well, a positive is they didn't lose this week, so
They didn't lose this week, right? Exactly. There was no loss, no win, but no loss.
I'll take no win over no loss. You know,
No,
or I'll take no win if it means no loss. Sorry,
right there you go.
that's what I meant.
Just say we definitely would take a win. We'll take a
Correct.
win as we could get them. And then we had the Phillies this weekend who just do a great job of like giving you as much hope and to take it away, to give hope right back to you. And it's a toxic relationship, Philly fans with the Phillies at this point.
Yeah, I it's Monday. There was game 1 was Saturday, game 2 was Sunday. I'm mentally, physically, emotionally
Exhausted.
We're
2 days into this thing.
Yeah, it's so funny because the last 2 years, I used to sit here and I used to say I can't wait for game day, and it's the same thing with the Eagles too. I don't want it.
No.
I don't want to feel that anymore.
Oh, just give me the result. Like, let me know what happens.
Yeah.
Fast forward a few weeks and see if we're if we're close to a parade on Broad Street. That's all I care about at this point.
Yeah.
Just win games.
Right.
But I bet at the same time, the adventure and the journey is kind of why we do it and why we care so much. And because I mean, obviously you talk about Sunday where Wheeler is Saturday where Wheeler's his dominant self, right? He goes out and he pitches a dynamic game. I mean, it's what you expect from Wheeler. He's a Cy Young candidate. Go ahead.
I thought the first 4 innings he was great, and then I thought towards the 5th through 7th was a little shaky.
A little control problems, a little bit.
Yeah, he got a couple 3-2 counts. He wound up getting out of them. I think twice. It might have been might have been the 4th inning. I can't remember, but I think 2 of those innings, but sometime between the 4th and the 7th, 2 different innings where he had multiple guys on base.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely a little bit of a reality check of humbling feeling, compared to what they were the last 2 years. But it just seems like the bats just didn't get it going that game for him, and it's a shame.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of
not to take the spotlight off of Wheeler because he deserves it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a game where you feel like you should win, and it's one of the things where I saw a lot of people blaming the bullpen for Saturday's loss, and while I think there's 2 sides of it, because you have a 1-run lead with 6 outs to go, you expect to win that game. You expect the bullpen to shut it down. But at the same time, you can't expect to shut out every team every game. 1 run, 95% of the time probably isn't going to be enough.
I mean, I think two things could be right at the same time, two things could be wrong at the same time, I guess technically.
Yeah.
I think even I would say from the Schwarber homer in game 1 up until and I know they scored a second run late in the game, but from the Schwarber homer in game 1 up until the Harper homer in game 2, it just felt like
it felt far too familiar.
I wouldn't say it felt too far familiar.
You don't think so? It felt a lot like Game 6 and 7, or even 5.
Oh, okay. I thought I misunderstood. I thought you meant with the regular season.
No. Because I think the team could hit in the regular season. Certain players would have slumps here and there, but for the most part, they hit. I'm I'm talking about. It seemed familiar where it takes me back to the NLCS of last season.
Yeah, sure. I misunderstood. No, absolutely, and I don't think that we're this worried. If that didn't happen, like if game one and game two
Sure.
happened the way they did, but the Arizona series ended differently, I don't think that we're sitting here. Or at least myself, I don't think I'm sitting here very concerned.
Right, but the team is basically the same exact team as last year, and they did that last year. So
True. The offenses, the offenses. I wouldn't say the entire team. The bullpen got a lot better, even though they haven't played well.
I was gonna say that the bullpen has been a little shaky the first two
It's
games.
the deepest. It's the deepest it's ever been.
I agree. I agree with you. But at the same time, like you said, game one and game two, they
Sure.
haven't shown up.
Yeah. Both of these things are very true. The bats and the bullpen is a big concern, especially now. I wouldn't say Hoffman. I can't say that I'm concerned yet because he's only pitched in one game so far
Right.
out of the two that they have. How many times have we seen this year where he comes out and just has a bad outing, and it kind of just happens? It didn't happen often, but it does happen, and hopefully it was just a sign of, or hopefully it was just one of those cases, and moving forward, he becomes the 2024 All Star that he was. Strom, I'm a little concerned. It's now two outings in a row.
It's two outings in a row, but like he's been really good all season, really good.
But I don't think he's been so good this year. I don't think he's had two outings in a row where he's looked that bad.
Yeah.
So I don't think he was put in a good spot either.
Game one,
Game
Or you
two.
thinking both.
I'm thinking game two.
Remind me what he came into.
So
in game two.
I think it was the ninth. Estevez came out in the eighth.
Yep.
They probably should have put him into the ninth. But I think the reason they did it was, and I could be wrong, but I thought I saw Bader had really bad numbers against Strom.
Mm-hmm.
So that's and Lindor, I believe, is a better left-handed hitter than right-handed hitter. So that's part of the reason why they brought him in. And then, but Vientos just crushes left-handed pitching. He's 300 against them this year against lefties. So he obviously gives up the 2-run homer to Vientos in the ninth, and it didn't look great.
Right. The one thing I kind of wanted to get your opinion on and is the whole Alec Boehm thing. Now, obviously, you have a very rocky past with Alec Boehm. You think he stinks.
I don't think he stinks. I don't think
no, yeah. So obviously, it's a move where
the reason I have to say that I don't think he stinks is because you and I we understand what we mean when we say somebody stinks.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think the general population understands.
No, but
what
it's a move. It's a move where Thompson the last 2 years would never make because he's kind of died by what got him there. Right. He's somebody who doesn't really like to change things up and
sure,
dance with who brought you. So it's a movie makes after one game.
The other girl's just prettier.
True. Well, is it Mundo Sosa prettier? Right, exactly. That was my point. I'm curious, pre-game, post-game, how you think about that decision. I guess you give me your insight on what you thought before the game and after.
Initially, I was actually driving and listening to the radio, getting ready for the Phillies pregame, and then when they announced it, I think it was at noon. The pregame, it was like 11:58, and I literally just put the radio on to listen to WIP, like the I don't think it was Fransky, but it was what I think Larry Anderson was on. So I was I was getting ready to listen to the pregame to listen to LA, and he wasn't on like the full time, and I was only in the car for like 10 minutes, so I just wanted to hear him in the beginning. So I turned it on, and right before the show that ends on WIP, before the pregame, said, "Oh my God, Alec Boehm is not playing." So my initial thought before they had said anything, before I saw on the internet, was, what is he? Did he get hurt? Did he re-injure himself? I don't. Because he's been really, really bad since coming back from the injury in late August. So I didn't know what to think. I was like, he must be hurt, right? Like, and then an hour later, it comes out that it's just
straight up benched him.
Yeah, it's for an energy.
Which I personally have a problem with that answer.
Why?
Because for a couple of reasons. Like, I think it would have been just better being like, hey, Boehm has been swinging the bat very well. We need another option. Like Sosa's an opportunity.
But I think that's what that is.
Played pretty good. He said energy. Well, like game 2 of your playoff, but game 2 of your playoffs, your lineup shouldn't need quote unquote energy. Like the lineup should have energy already. It's playoffs. It's do or die territory. Like there should always be energy in the playoffs. Personally,
yeah, but I don't think. it kills two birds with one stone. I don't think it's a necessarily a thing where he's injecting energy for the other guys as much as he says it is. I just think it's his way of saying Bohm sucks right now, and we want to get him a game to watch.
Yeah.
That helped him a lot actually, because remember that he had a great start. And
Boom.
then like early June for like 2 weeks it was rough, and then they sat him the game against Baltimore. I think it was the Sunday game or the Saturday game in Baltimore, and at the end of June, and it was the discussion was get him to sit on the bench and watch a game, and he came back and actually had like a pretty good stretch, a good like month, and then or really up until August, and then he got hurt. And hasn't been good since then. So that's all. That's the energy thing. I think that he's or trying to get out to people or to the general public by saying Sosa's the energy guy. But I think it's more so Bohm needs to see the energy to be able to go out there and perform, because it's a long season, right? Like 162 is a lot.
Sure. Yeah.
And he's just not playing well right now. And he might be playing through something. I'm not sure. I don't think it's as much as like, oh, we need to insert Sosa because Bryce Harper and Nick Castellanos and Trey Turner and Schwarber can't find energy. Like I don't think it's as much as that, even though that's what he's saying. I'm just kind of reading between the lines a little bit.
Okay. No, I mean that's fair, but we're gonna get. I mean, now's good time as ever to get to it. Sosa was fucking horrible, awful, awful at the plate, awful in the field, which like usually
he's
a good
actually like a
fielder.
pretty good fielder. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, he was terrible. Both like you can't put him back in there.
Yeah, I don't know that Bohm gets that guy out at first, but I don't.
He doesn't throw the ball
throws it
away. He doesn't throw it away.
Right.
He might eat it. He might make a throw and it be a step or two late.
Yeah.
But he does not throw that ball away. I agree with you.
Yeah. I just think the critics of the last 2 years who have kind of held it against Topper, like not making a move in the series, and that was like a big thing. You know, that was a big thing in the last 2 years. So I just think he was trying to because it didn't work the last 2 years, trying to try something different, and it's
Sure, he's trying to be proactive.
It's scary to do that in the playoffs. I just read what was it? I think I don't know how many times ever this has happened, but the Yankees game tonight, John Birdie's playing first base. It's like I forget what it was, but it's not a lot of times.
I don't even know who that is.
John Birdie, he's a baseball player. He's
he's
a middle infielder.
Okay, all right.
No, he's like a career bench guy. He played for the Marlins for a couple
never
years.
heard.
He's
of
actually
him.
from here. He's actually from Philly or West.
How do you spell his last name?
Bertie, I believe.
You know what? I think I have heard this name. Burti.
Might be something like that. Yeah. JONB. It might be BERTIE or BUR.
BERTI.
Okay. Yeah, spelling was never my my strong suit.
Okay, get to your point about John Birdie.
So it's like one of the first times ever. It might have only happened a couple times in the history. I don't know the exact number, but that somebody's starting at a new position for the first time in a playoff game. And I know Sosa's started at third base before. I know, that's not my point. I'm just saying it doesn't happen often. So like to try it is gutsy. I don't know. If you were to ask me, I don't know that I would have done it.
I personally, I think Sosa was the wrong guy. Like, if you're gonna do it, I think Sosa was the wrong guy to do it with. And it might be easier to, hindsight's always 20/20. But I think the way the last month of the season Clemens has been swinging the bat, I think Clemens deserved that opportunity more.
Too many lefties in the lineup at the bottom of the lineup. That's the problem. That's the problem.
I get it, but
then you have
results
to take Marsh out of the game. But then you have to take Marsh out of the game, and then you're forced to play either Sosa or Hayes.
Yeah,
against the righty.
No, I get you, but I just think think he deserves it more. Like the way he's swung the bat the last month of the season, I think he deserves that shot.
I'm not saying I disagree with you. I'm just telling you I don't know. I don't disagree with you in the sense of like wanting to start Clemens over Sosa. I'm not that I think Clemens has been hotter recently. But I don't want that many lefties in the lineup. It's the same reason Harper's not going to lead off and Schwarber's not going to hit second, because that there were talks of that too, from what I've heard. Not within the Phillies, but within fans. Like a lot of fans are talking about Harper possibly leading off so he gets the most at bats, and that way they have to. If you're not going to pitch to Bryce, if you're going to just walk him, then you have to deal with Schwarber behind him, and they're never going to go lefty-lefty. It's just not going to happen.
Nah, no, I mean that's fair. And Clemens has also only played. I mean, I'm looking at it now. He's only played 11 games this season at third base. Which I guess with how often he plays, is probably a decent amount. Like, obviously, I mean, he's not a great fielder by any means, but I just think the way his bat's been, I think he kind of deserved that chance. Any chance they play, and I don't. If before the triple, I might have said there was a possibility, but like, is there any chance they play Clemens instead of Stott and put Bone back in the line? I mean, Bone's back in the lineup regardless. He already said it. But
How many games has Clemens played second though?
Shit, hold on. I just had it up. 1 second. He has played only 8.
Yeah, I don't think they would do that. Not to Stott. I don't think they want to lose the defense from Stott.
Yeah.
And hopefully that triple kind of gets him going a little bit.
I hope so.
I would say this. I think I said it on the show last week. I don't remember, but I said it the week before, but not on the show. I said it to somebody else in person. I think that the way that Stott and JT have been swinging the bat at the end of the year was very encouraging. Specifically, like I think it was the second Mets series and the Cubs series. I thought that they swung the bat really well. It was really encouraging going into the season. It's just you get a week off, and hopefully that doesn't. 2 games is a small sample size, so hopefully that doesn't affect them. Going into Game 3. But yeah, I don't think they sit Stott unless it's
I don't either.
Unless it's a lefty.
Yeah.
I could see the possibility.
Yep.
And then Sosa plays.
What?
Because do you think Stott plays tomorrow? If
I do. I think he does. Yeah.
So you think the lineup tomorrow, or not in this specific order, but defensively, it's JT, Harper, Stott, Turner, Bohm, because they've already announced Bohm, Hayes and left. Because it's Manaea. They're going against Manaea tomorrow. Rojas in center, Castellanos in right.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Hayes stinks. Like what? Like
listen, man, I said that at the deadline.
Like what are we doing?
Been saying that for 2 months. But it's a small sample size. It is this season. He has
put Clemens out there. Why not?
He's crushed left-handed pitching, for what it's worth.
Hayes?
Yeah, I don't think it's many. I don't think it's a big sample size, but you go with the hot hand, right? Like he's hitting hot against lefties.
I guess. I don't know. Let me see. Versus lefties, he has 82 at bats. I mean, 354. I mean, fine.
Right. It's not a huge sample size.
Yeah. I mean, 354 obviously sounds good, but again, 82 at bats.
Right. I think that's
one home run, 12 doubles.
I think close to 100 is somewhat. I think there's enough there to play him. I don't know that there's enough there to be like, he's a good player. He's a really good player. Like,
yeah.
I think 85 is enough.
Yeah, I'm curious.
I thought it was closer to like the 50, 60 mark.
What the at bats?
Yeah.
I'm curious how many of those have came with the Phillies.
With the Phillies, probably not a ton because he was hurt a lot.
Yeah, right.
I think would it have 2 different injury stints, or just one?
I think 2. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, it had something when he first got here after a couple games, and then the kidney at the end of the year.
Yeah, I'm trying to see Clemens splits. Clemens only 20 at bats against lefties, batting 300. I mean, again, it's only 20 at bats, but 300 against lefties.
I don't think that's enough.
94 against righties, 202. So
yeah.
All right, fair enough. But so I mean, it's obviously the game. So the game 1 loss, they lose it late after having the lead the whole time, and the bullpen kind of blows up. Then you go into game 2. You pretty much get everything that you could ask for Christopher Sanchez. Like I thought he was really good.
Did he? He didn't give up the homer to Alonso, right? That was Ruiz.
No, not Alonso. He gave up the homer to Vientos, wasn't it?
Yeah, the first homer, but it was Ruiz who gave the Alonso homer, right?
So. I think it was his first not pitch, but first batter, wasn't it?
It might have been. I don't remember, but yeah, I mean, again, like the bats have to come alive for these starters. I listen. I think having a good bullpen helps. I don't think you need a great bullpen to win in the playoffs. We saw that last year. Like the two teams that made the playoffs last year, I think what was it? The Rangers were like 11th in ERA of the postseason teams, and Arizona was ninth, maybe.
So that sounds about right.
So I don't think you need a great bullpen. I think you need great starting pitching. Um, and we've gotten two games where you could probably get the most out of both guys that you possibly need, and just the bats don't protect them. Thankfully, the bats came alive later in game two, but also
Severino fell apart.
yeah, well his stats are crazy too. Like he's brutal after five innings, and he's also brutal after giving up a homer. Once he gives up a homer, I think he's got a 6+ ERA.
Yep.
So yeah, just
I think it was. I think it was terrible baseball by the Mets to give
Sure.
to give the Harp. Like you have Castellanos, who's an absolute train wreck at the plate of curveballs. Like you have Harper up. I believe it was there 2 outs at that point. Or it was only 1. I think there's 2.
2 outs.
So you have a guy. You have a runner on first. Harper up. Why throw him a pit? Like let him walk. Take the base. Fine. Take it. I'm gonna throw Castellanos 3 straight curveballs and put him on the bench.
He gave him a fastball too. He didn't even give him
exactly. That's the thing. Yeah. It's like I don't understand. Like, there's no thinking goes into this. Everybody's just. I don't know if it's arrogance. I don't know what. Like, oh, I can get this guy out, no problem. Like, I just do with what works. Like, just 3 straight curveballs. All you need to do is go sit them down. And listen, it's to the Phillies' benefit. So I'm happy they made that mistake. But I just don't get bad baseball.
He and after Harper hits the 2-run homer, Castellanos comes up. I don't know if you remember what the pitch was that he crushed. It was a slider, but instead of hugging the outside corner and making him go for it, he totally
Middle
missed.
of the plate.
It wasn't
up a little bit, right?
It was up and in. Yeah. It wasn't right down the plate, but it was close. Yeah. So he just totally missed his spot. And that's what I say all the time, and that's what I wanted to come on here and say tonight. Like, just kind of give Nick and Bryce their props in finding taking advantage of the mistake, specifically Harper, especially as a Philly. Like, it's the idea that Bryce doesn't get many hits, right? Or doesn't get many opportunities to hit because they don't pitch to him, correct? Like I don't know. I just think that you have to, in order to win playoff games, you have to be able to find the mistake, identify it, and take advantage of it. And it's so hard because you may only get one pitch per at bat. You may only get one pitch the entire game.
Yeah.
And you saw what I said in the group text this morning. Like it's
to be fair, that group chat was going kind of crazy. I didn't see everything, so I don't know what you said.
Okay. So basically, what I said was it's so hard to identify the pitch and then to do damage to it, right? Like
sure.
To and then to consistently do it. And he's done that as a Philly, like finding the mistake and making damage, and he almost always does it. Like he almost never fails, and he does fail here and there, but almost never. And I just think that is something that you and I haven't seen in our lifetime in Philly sports, where like there's a star that comes in and plays like a star, even in the biggest moments. And listen, I'm not gonna say never, right?
Game 6 and 7 last season.
No. I'm looking at the positives, like Ryan Howard,
okay.
like Ryan Howard, Chase Utley, and Jimmy Rollins, like Cole Hamels, like those guys were stars to us, right? Like they came up in big moments. Like I'm trying to think of like Nick Foles wasn't a star, but like he came up in a big moment. Like how many times in our lives, like it always felt like Lindros never met that moment, right? Like when he met the moment, he didn't achieve what we needed, and it feels like Harper's like
Allen Iverson big moment,
right? Like Embiid in the playoffs doesn't feel like he has that big moment, and like this is like one of the very few guys in our lifetime that when the big moment matters, like it's never too big, and I think if this guy wins a World Series here, I genuinely think I'm not sure if he is or isn't, but I think there genuinely is an argument whether he is the first or second or third best Philly of all time. I just think with the clutch factor, he's been the clutchest player in baseball since coming to the Phillies. I think The moment isn't too big for him. He's very clutch. He's a 30 home run guy every season that he's not hurt.
If he wins a World Series as a Philadelphia Philly, there will be a statue of Bryce Harper outside Citizens Bank Park.
Do you think?
Guaranteed. Yes.
Because I mean, listen, you have Steve Carlton, and I think it's hard to say a pitcher's the best player in your baseball's history because they don't play every day.
Sure.
But obviously Mike Schmidt, but Mike Schmidt was never this good in the playoffs. Like
Because like the way that I put it is like the way that I'm thinking about it is like you go back to like the 08 teams. Sure, you had stars. You had Rollins, you had Utley, you had Howard, but no real face of the team because those three were the face.
right.
Bryce Harper's the face of the Phillies. Like there isn't a second option, in my opinion. He's the face of the Phillies.
I mean, I think Schwarber's really close.
He's not the face of the Phillies.
No,
I don't think so.
But
Because like you can't say Ryan Howard without saying Chase Utley or Jimmy Rollins. You can't say Jimmy Rollins without saying Ryan Howard or Chase Utley. Like I think you could say how special Harper is, and you don't even have to mention another player.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so because what has he done here before those guys came here? Like Schwarber's, I think Schwarber's a huge factor. I've told you this. I've told you this a million times.
I get it.
I think Schwarber's a full on winner. Wherever he goes, he wins. I think he's a big moment player. I think that he is and I'm not saying Harper is Michael Jordan, but I think he is the pimpin' to Bryce Harper's Jordan. And I think just having a guy that could be able to change a game with one swing, it's not just like those three guys, like Utley, Howard, and Rollins, were one swing away from changing a game. I understand what you mean. When we think of the Phillies, it's Bryce Harper.
Exactly.
I totally understand.
When you thought of the 08 Phillies, you think of those three guys. You don't think of one guy. You think of three.
No. I don't disagree.
2024, Phillies, you think Bryce Harper. And I'm not taking anything away from Schwarber. I'm hit or miss. Like Schwarber can annoy me at times. I think, by and large, for the most part since he's been here, I think he's been a terrific player.
I don't disagree. I'm not disagreeing with that. I just think Schwarber's is closer than you think he is.
Right.
Only because of the fact that they've been nothing but successful with him.
Sure.
And I also think Wheeler's really close too. I think Wheeler is starting to become in that dude. He is arguably one of the best postseason pitchers ever. So I don't know. I think both of those guys are probably closer than you think, but I don't disagree. I think when you think of the 08 Phillies, you think of those 3 or 4 guys, the Hamels in there too.
You could throw Hamels in there, sure.
But yeah, I don't know. I just think like that 08 team, like they also had other guys too, like Worth, who really came up huge for them, and Victorino came up huge for them.
But you don't really think of those guys in with the big three. Like, if the Phillies win the World Series this year, you're gonna have big moments from Turner. You're gonna have big moments from a Stott. You're gonna those guys are gonna have big moments. You have to in order to win a World Series. So we're gonna look back if they win and think of those guys. But at the face of it is Bryce Harper, in my opinion.
No, I don't disagree with you. I totally understand. I just think Schwarber and Wheeler are a little bit closer than we think. That's all.
Speaking of heroes, went from 0 to hero. We talked about the Castellanos thing. Yeah. I mean, he's so confusing. Because it's just a guy that you hate, but then he comes up with a clutch hit.
I saw the perfect analysis or a thing on him today on Twitter. It's there are times where he looks like the worst baseball player. Doesn't even look like an MLB player.
Yep.
And then I think it might have been Charlie O'Connor who said it. And then there are some games where he looks like a top 5 baseball player in MLB in the MLB, right? Like
very confusing.
And then there are times where it's in the same game. Like he looks like I think it was Charlie O'Connor who said it. I've never seen that in a player. Like I've seen players. It's a long season, right? Like you go through ups and downs in a 162 game season. I think that you could find somebody who has a good week, a bad week, a good week, a bad week, a good week, bad week, but I've never seen it in one game. Like it's actually the most frustrating, exciting thing I've ever like.
Yep. Yeah, because you go to his early at bat. The first 2 pitches are nowhere close to the strike zone. It has 2 pathetic swings on it.
Yeah.
And then he lets the third one go, and the crowd gives him a little sarcastic cheer, and that's when he met. I don't know if you saw my
Yeah,
tweet.
yeah. I saw him do it during the game.
Yeah. So then the next at bat, is when he hits the home run that tied the game or whatever, and then bottom of the ninth, coming up clutch again. But
I
just big
genuinely
moments.
think if he had a good approach at the plate every single time up to bat, and it's hard to have a good approach every
Sure.
single at bat for a full season.
But
if he has a decent approach or good approach at that, I don't think he's a Hall of Famer, but I said that yesterday in the group chat or 2 days ago in the group chat, joking. But I do think you look at it. If he had a good
he's a great
approach,
player. Yeah, he'd be a great player.
yeah.
And like, I don't even need a great approach. I just need an approach. Like, he doesn't have an approach. I just need just,
And he's admitted
just
that.
just have an approach. Exactly. So,
But
all right. So game 3, Tuesday.
and also really to add to the Castellanos thing, I'm actually okay with the pitches, the sliders that just move out of the strike zone because they look like strikes. It's the ones that start in the other batter's box.
Yeah, right.
And in the almost in the fucking dugout. Like
Yeah.
those are the ones that I have a problem with. It's not the ones that start down the middle and end on the end of the plate, because those happen.
Those happen. I don't love swinging at those first pitch, but it happens.
No, but you know what? It comes in as a strike. You only have a millisecond to figure out if you're going to swing or not.
It's the ones that
happens.
are never strikes.
But
ever.
that's the thing, it's the ones that are never strike happens too often.
Right.
Which
and
makes
when they
frustrating
happen,
for the ones that actually do look like a good pitch to swing at and it just out of the zone. Then we get upset because the other thing happens way too much.
Right. But you keep him behind Harper, right? You think he had some sort of protection?
Yeah,
on Harper
yeah. I mean,
bit?
what else are you gonna do?
You really can't. Yeah, really can't do anything.
I mean, it's not gonna be Bohm or Stott or
JT. I think JT's been a mess. I think the second half of the season hitting the ball.
He was good the last. So I don't know what he did against the Nationals in the last series. I didn't watch, but the 2 weeks before that, he was actually he actually looked like he was coming around a little bit.
Yeah, it was the second half of the season in general. I don't think he's been that great.
Yeah, it just seems like everybody's still playing through something.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm not giving excuses. I'm just saying.
Right. And you're never gonna sit him for the DJ.
Never ever
DJ
ever.
boy over there. So
never ever.
Captain Vibes, Garrett Stubbs. So game 3, Tuesday, 5 p.m. I hate the 5 p.m. start.
Awful. I told people at work today, I said, if the Phillies lose on Tuesday, don't talk to me Wednesday, because I will not have any energy to just
all right.
Because you have the older women in the office that come up and say, "Oh, how about the Phillies? Like if they win or lose."
Don't even talk to me.
Like the 2 Eagles losses, I was just like, I had to tell this one woman, like I was like, just not right now. Like it was the
just start wearing a sign on your shirt. Just do not talk to me.
Yeah. Tuesday after the Falcons game and Monday after the Bucks game, she asked me like, "Hey, it's like, what about the Eagles yesterday?" I'm like, just don't, just walk away.
Right.
I don't even know how I'm gonna feel for a fucking playoff loss if that happens.
So Nola versus Minaya. Nola, I think from what I saw, I'd have to pull it up, has pretty good numbers at Citi Field.
Yes. He pitched a Sunday night there.
Yes.
No.
Did he?
I don't think he did, but I don't think that's the one I'm thinking of. He pitched earlier this year too. The first time they went to Citi Field, and he pitched really, really well. But he did have the Sunday night game, but I think they lost that game. I think he gave up a 2-run homer. That was the end of September.
I was gonna try to find it, but I don't know. It might take me a little while.
Is it possible to find what the Phillies lineup? It doesn't have to be everybody. Just maybe like Schwarber, Turner, and Harper and Castellanos, like what their numbers are against Minaya. Do you think that's like easy to find?
This year or career?
Career. I'd rather look at career. I can't imagine they faced him too many times because he's been in the AL most of his career.
So I found Nola's starts at Citi Field, but it doesn't give me like a cumulative total. It just has per year.
Okay.
This year he hasn't given up a run there. He's only pitched there once. Is that possible? Seems like he would have pitched there more than once, but
Okay, wait. I have the matchups against Mania.
career.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Harper's faced him 10 times. He's got 10 plate appearances, 10 at bats. Career 300 hitter. He's got a home run off of him.
Okay.
He's got 3 hits. So that's Harper.
I feel like it's going to be kind of small samples, especially because Mania played in the AL.
yeah.
Right, yeah. What site are you on? What are you searching?
I just looked up like Bryce Harper versus Sean Manaea, and it's StatHead. So I just looked up Turner.
Oh, okay.
Turner has 16 at bat or 16 plate appearances, 16 at bats, 313 off of him, 1 home run.
Okay.
Let's see Kyle Schwarber. All right. Kyle Schwarber has 7 plate appearances, 6 at bats, 333, 1 home run.
So each of them over 300.
And each of them at least 1 home run.
All right.
And then we'll do Nick Castellanos.
You can't just leave it like, we had a good thing going, and now it's going to be like, it's going to tank here.
Nope, he got better.
Okay, I like that.
15 plate appearances, 15 at bats, 333, 3 home runs.
Okay, I like that. I like it. You know what? This is the optimism.
Keep going?
Yeah.
Let's see JT.
Let's pull up. Yeah, I was going to say JT, Stott. Let's pull up the whole.
You want to do Stott?
The whole goddamn lineup.
You want to do Stott? I'll do.
Sure, why not?
JT. Just type in Bryson Stott versus Sean Manaea, and it's StatHead.
Who am I doing?
Stott.
Oh.
I can't imagine he's had too many appearances against Manaea because he's only been in the league 2 years or 3 years. JT. Okay, never mind. Stubbs might have to start. 7 at bats, 7 plate appearances, 143.
8 plate appearances for Stott. 333.
Okay.
1 home run.
Who else is in the lineup? Who else is going to play tomorrow? Hayes? Should we look up Hayes? Hayes probably has faced him a lot.
Sure. Let's look up Hayes. Let me see here. Why did that not come up? Oh, hold on. Just says stats against all pitcher. Why is Hayes not coming up? Hold on. See if you have better luck.
Okay.
Oh wait, hold on. Sean Manaea.
Did you get it?
He might not have ever faced him. Is that possible?
No, they were both in the AL.
Oh, I don't see Sean Manaea on the list of pitchers that he's faced.
Oh, okay. Maybe he's never faced them. That's weird.
Let me go down to the M's. Hold on. I have it by alphabetical order right now of every pitcher he's ever faced. L's M. All right, I'm in the M. Manaea spell what? MAE.
MANAEA.
MA. Here we go. He has played Sean Manaea. Okay.
It didn't come up for me either. That's weird.
That is weird. This is only 3 plate appearances.
Really?
Yeah, 333. So he probably had 1 hit and three plate appearances.
We'll take it.
Yep.
Yeah, Bohm isn't playing tomorrow either. If I'm the manager. 10 plate appearances, 9 at bats, 222. But he does have a homer off of him.
There you go. About Marsh. Let's look up Marsh.
You want me to look it up or you?
I can look it up.
I mean, he's not going to play tomorrow, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, you don't know that.
Trust me, I do. It's definitely going to be Hayes.
It should not be Marsh.
Correct.
I mean, it's only 3 plate appearances.
Yeah.
A 0 batting average.
Yep. Well, I wonder if Rojas has faced him.
Probably not. I'd be surprised.
Well, I mean, he's been on the Mets, 2 years now? 3 years?
2?
Yeah.
Let's look it up. We're just
you're
gonna
looking it
do
up.
this. Why not? Why not?
Yeah, you can. Just because I heard somebody say today, like most of the lineup has a home run against Manaea.
5 plate appearances, no hits.
Yeah, he's not playing tomorrow either. He is, but
well, there you go. Did we forget anybody?
I'm gonna sleep a little bit tonight, knowing that.
Yeah, it seems like they get a little pop. He'll
Yeah.
pop against Mania. So,
We'll see.
yep. And then Game 4 it was announced that no matter the outcome of Game 3, Ranger will be going. I mean,
Which
that's
I don't
not-
agree with.
Well, who do you go with?
If they lose
do you go
tomorrow, I think you have to go Wheeler.
He pitched when Saturday.
Yeah, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's 4 days.
4 days rest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stop
All
being a
right,
bitch
okay.
and
All right.
not you, him. I mean, stop
Sure.
being a bitch and pitch on 4 days rest instead of 5.
Okay.
How bad do you want this?
Well, I get what you're saying, but if he's not as effective on 4 days rest and they lose, then you're
Yeah, I think it's
toast
mental.
Game 5.
Yeah, I think it's all mental.
Okay.
No. I think if they're down, only if they're down, so you wouldn't go to Game 5.
I see what you're saying. I see. Yeah, I got you. All right.
If he pitches game 5, he's on 6 days rest. That's still not 5.
Sure.
So stop being a little bitch.
All right. Zach Wheeler, stop being a little bitch.
You're the one that said that. You're the one that said that full sentence, not me. So
Well, I think you said it first. I was just kind of repeating it.
right, I never said Zach Wheeler and that other phrase in the same sentence.
Stop being a little bitch.
Yeah, I never said in the same sentence. You did. So
Well,
when he watches the show back,
yeah.
you're the one that said
Yeah,
it.
he's gonna watch the show. You definitely said we got to rewind the tape. You definitely said stop
What I
being a
said
little
was
bitch.
Zach Wheeler, and then I paused and said a couple other things, and
Yeah.
then said, "Yeah, I need him to stop being a little bitch." That's what I said. I never
Right.
said it all in one sentence. So
Zach Wheeler, he can definitely play on 4 days rest. Stop being a little bitch. That's
Yes.
basically what you said.
it's exactly what I said. that might be word for word, but that's still not Zach Wheeler. You know,
All right. Okay. Semantics at this point.
I plead the fifth.
You got anything else with the Philly series before? I don't even know what else we're
No,
gonna
I
talk
feel like I'm gonna throw up though.
about. Just the nerves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
hate this.
it's part of the playoffs. I mean,
Yeah, I love it.
And for what it's worth, I know the magical Mets or whatever the fuck they're calling it. I still think the Mets stink, but that's just me. I don't know.
I don't disagree. I think they're the worst team in the play. Well, at least in the NL.
Well, I think the Tigers are the worst team in the playoffs.
I actually think Kansas City might be worse, but
I don't know. The Tigers can't. I mean, Scuba went out there and fucking dealt today,
Right.
but I don't know.
I mean Regan's is good, but he's not Scooble.
no.
I mean he's pitched well tonight. They're up 4-1.
Kansas
The
City.
Yankees. Yeah, top of the 7th.
Yeah.
I just think Detroit. I mean, maybe Kansas City's a better team today, but I think Detroit's going to be really, really, really good in like 2 years. I think they overachieved a little bit this year, but
Oh,
you know what?
totally.
So did Kansas City. Because did you see that that stat that went around on Twitter a couple days ago?
No.
Or it was right before the playoffs started. It was the if the Tigers and the Royals didn't play the White Sox in the same division, they'd be like both would be like under 500 or something.
I believe that.
They're like combined 20-3 against.
Think
the White
about
Sox.
how many games that is that you're playing.
Right.
I mean, the White Sox lost 120 games or something like that.
121,
Yeah.
something like that.
So think about how many of those you just took up, just from being in the division.
Right, they're 20-3 combined this year
Right. Yeah.
against the White Sox. So
Yep.
and both made the playoffs because of that.
Yep. Did you see the Profar stuff that happened?
Yeah.
In the other game, and then
Yeah.
the Dodgers.
See,
Padres game?
I think a lot of people are upset with the way that he handled the home run. Robbing the home
I
run.
don't. I mean, I don't.
It's fun though. Like
I don't hate it. I don't
it's-
hate it. I don't hate it.
It's similar to what New York and Philly is, right? Like the big brother, little brother.
Sure.
With San Diego and LA are the big brother, little brother complexity. I think it's a lot of fun. I think rivalries are made in the playoffs, right? Like
Sure.
I think that it really intensifies their rivalry. I think it's I don't think anybody got hurt. Like I don't think what he did hurt anybody.
No.
You know,
No,
the guy
I mean,
the guy that he robbed the homer from. If you actually watch him, he actually points at him and is like, it's a good play. Like
Yeah.
I think things kind of got a little out of hand, but
Yes. Well, when people start throwing shit at him, but
Right.
you almost ask for it. Like I don't. I'm not endorsing that, but
I think there's a fine line between like you could talk about the NBA, right? Like the NBA, there's a lot of things that are said on the sideline that
You know, like,
NBA
cross
players
out of
don't like
games. Yeah.
right. The saying the most basic stuff like you suck and people getting kicked out of the game, right?
Right.
Like,
The NBA
do
is
I
a joke in that way.
do I think that that's okay? No, in terms of like kicking somebody out over because that's a part of sports and you make millions of dollars and like that's what home field is.
In your words, stop being a little bitch.
But correct. Do I think there should be racial slurs thrown
Sure,
around?
well,
No.
yeah, of course. Sure, yeah, of course.
But
that goes without saying, I think.
no, in today's world, man,
Well,
I don't
yeah.
know.
I don't know.
For me and you, yes, but like
Right.
for
Yeah,
some people,
I
no.
guess. Yeah.
But I think there's definitely a fine line between that and like the Sixers when they played Washington, when you and I anointed Ben Simmons this great player, and in the very next series, you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
In the very next series, he was horrible.
Was it? Yeah, it was Washington, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they played Washington, and then
And the Hawks
Atlanta.
series was the next. Yeah. Yep.
So I don't know if you remember in that series, a fan dumped popcorn on
Mhm.
Russell Westbrook.
I remember that.
Does popcorn hurt you? No.
No.
Do you throw a popcorn on somebody? No.
No,
I
yeah.
think there's definitely a fine line between saying, "Yo, Westbrook, you fucking suck,"
Right.
versus
Yeah, sure.
throwing something at him or
Like
yes,
two things.
If I walk outside,
Go ahead.
right? If I walk outside and dump a popcorn on somebody, yes, a cop could come up and say that's technically assault.
No,
right?
it's not. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Technically, it is. Yes, it is.
What's the definition of assault? I'm gonna look. What is the definition? Of assault?
It could be considered somewhat not of a crime, but
like the only thing a cop's gonna stop before is littering.
no, that's not true.
A threat or attempt to inflict offensive physical contact or bodily harm. Popcorn is not bodily harm.
If I walk outside and dump popcorn on somebody, they could call a cop, and a cop can come say, "I'm giving you a ticket." Yes.
For littering, yes.
No, for harming somebody.
Sure.
It's not.
Listen, I think two.
Throwing a baseball at somebody. Absolutely. I'm not saying
Yes,
it's still wrong,
that's hard. That's
right?
that can hurt.
Right. It's still wrong, is what I'm saying.
I think two things can be right. Is somebody dumping a box of popcorn on Russell Westbrook an asshole thing to do? Yes. Did Russell Westbrook completely overreact? Also, yes.
But I think he overreacted because, or the way he reacted was because of the principle of it. I don't think it's I got hurt.
Right.
I think it's just the fact of like
they're trying to get shit thrown at them. Sure, I get it.
Right. So do I think that them throwing stuff at Profar and Tatis
and the dugout, I think, was getting shit thrown at him.
Right. Like, no, that's not okay. Yes, an empty beer can probably doesn't hurt like a baseball, right?
Sure, yeah.
So like, none of it is okay.
Right.
And I really do think that the Padres and the Dodgers are trying to get ahead of it before it escalates even more.
Sure. What Profar did is a menacing move, though. It's pure evil the way he reacted, robbing that home run. Like Betts was like rounding third and like thought he had a home run.
Dude, if you watch the slow mo of it, as he's hopping backwards, you can like there's like 3 or 4 people that are around what happened
that knew what happened. Yeah.
If you look at everybody else, they're cheering like it like they thought it went over. 90%, maybe 99% of that stadium, including the players on both sides, thought that was a home run. Yeah. Except 5 people in that stadium knew it wasn't.
Asshole move, yes, but like I loved every part of it.
Yeah, it's a bat flip, man. It's
sure.
If you don't want me to flip my bat, don't give up a home run. It's if you don't want me to celebrate a touchdown, don't give up a touchdown.
Yeah. Although there's really not much Betts. Betts hit a home run, and the guy just made a great play out of it. Like that wasn't a shallow. He was like 4 rows deep.
No, it was the first row.
It was more than the first row.
No, it wasn't. It was the first row. The guy. Yeah, watch it.
I'll watch it.
It was a great play. I'm not discrediting. It was a great play. It wasn't 4 rows deep, but
right, I'm exaggerating a little bit. All right, I'm trying to jazz it up a little bit. Yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got for baseball.
Same.
Hopefully they finish this thing out. Hopefully by Wednesday. Like, hopefully they just win the next 2. Because like a Friday 4:00 game, I'm just not about.
So somebody, I hear you. So that could change if the Padres Dodgers,
sure.
Yeah. But it's so funny because and just to wrap up baseball real quick, there was a Mets fan. So somebody posted Diaz's stats at Citizens Bank Park, and they're not like really bad. And a Mets fan said, it was on Twitter, Mets fan here, do his at Citi Field. It's not much better.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. He is an overrated pitcher. And like, he had one tremendous year 2 seasons ago before the
No,
injury,
it was
or
yeah,
3 seasons ago.
yeah,
Right, it was like right before
yeah,
the
yeah.
a year or 2 before that injury. He
I
was great.
think I think he was really good in Seattle too.
Yeah.
Um, but as a Met, yes.
Yes. So,
I'm
all
gonna
right.
look up stats real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's his name? Edwin, right?
Yes. Also, what
Um,
are the New Orleans Saints? Are they good or are they bad? Because I can't decide. Are they just mediocre? I'm watching the game right now. That's why
what's
my mind's
GF?
on that. What?
It's finished.
GF. Maybe I've never
His
heard. I
last
don't.
his last year in Seattle was ridiculous. 57 saves, 65 GF.
Yeah, maybe it's games. I've never heard that games. Yeah, I mean, it had to be games finished.
Well, he led the league in both. And he had a 1.96 ERA. And then the Mets trade for him, and his ERA goes up to almost 6.
Jesus, what year was that? They traded for him?
So 2018 was the great year. 2019 was his first year with the Mets. The following year, 2020, I don't think you can really look at that year because it's a small
They
sample
played. They
size.
played 2 months. Yeah.
Yeah, 175. Um,
I know before the World Baseball Classic, he was like great, and then he got hurt, and then just wasn't.
20.
Yeah,
He was okay in 21. I
Yeah.
mean, 3.45 ERA for a bullpen guy is really, really good.
Yeah, but not top shelf closer. Like,
I mean, I think so. It's per 9, right? Like
Yeah.
ERA is per 9. It's
Yeah.
really tough for a bullpen guy to
how many saves and how many blown saves that year? 2020.
32 saves. Does it give you save opportunities?
It should say
I thought
blown
it
saves.
should.
No,
I don't know.
does
Can't
it
find
not?
it. I thought it did.
Yeah, I would think it would give you blown saves. Maybe not. What year are we looking at? Let's see if I can find it.
21.
GF is games finished, by the way.
Okay.
I'm on Baseball Reference.
Yeah, on the mobile app it doesn't. If you click it, it doesn't show you.
It does not give you. I would think it would give you save opportunities,
But 22, he was really good.
or at least blown saves.
Right.
Hmm.
But 22,
Yeah, I
he was
guess-
really good. 131, 32
Yes.
saves. He never became the 2018 version of himself. Even really, I mean, maybe he became half that. But this past year was pretty good.
Yeah.
Not as many save opportunities though.
Yeah, I mean the
Or-
the
not as many
1-3-1
saves.
is stupid. The 1-3-1 is insane.
Yeah.
Oh wait, all right, hold on. What year was I looking at?
21.
21. If I hover over it, I got something. Where did that go? Hold on, where the fuck did it go? All right, here we go. Blown save, 32 saves, 6 blown saves.
Okay.
And then his 1-3-1 season, 32 saves, 3 blown saves.
Yeah, that's much better.
Yeah.
He's really
And then
good.
this
He's really
this year, 20 saves, 7 blown saves.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah,
for,
that's
tw-
a lot.
for 20.
All right.
How many games was it?
So he's pitched in 54, but he's only had 27 save opportunities. He had 20 saves. So he blew 7.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Well, that's enough of talking about him.
Yeah, right. All right. So where else won't take us? I mean, there wasn't any Eagles this week. I don't know if you want to preview who they have next. Day. The Cleveland. Cleveland
Yeah.
stinks, so expect Cleveland to win. That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
I forgot to do my pick. Did you do your picks? I totally forgot.
I did not. I forgot to.
We'll skip that this week.
All right.
I've been slacking this week with picks. Like I forgot to send you guys my picks last week. I forgot to do them.
I don't think Chris did it like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago.
It's been a mess for all of us.
Yeah.
So we might have to scrap.
I don't even
the
know
whole
what the
idea.
records are.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. We might have to scrap it all together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, how you feeling about Cleveland? Where's your mind with this Eagles team? Like, are you confident?
You know what? Like I it kind of feels like the Phillies, where like I don't know what team is going to come out.
Lane's
Each
back
week.
for what it's worth. That's confirmed.
Yeah. Did they announce anything with the receivers?
Not that I've heard.
Okay. I'd
The only one
imagine
I
both
heard
those
was
guys are back.
well, I would imagine AJ Brown. Concussions are weird, so I don't know what to think with Devontae.
Yeah. My fantasy team needs it. Needs Devontae back. Bad.
Yours and many, I'm sure.
So yeah, I don't know, man. I'm like so into baseball mode and like kind of just really ready for the Flyers and like
Yep,
I'm not really
same.
excited for the Eagles as much on Sundays. So I don't know.
That's kind of where I'm at. Yeah. And like,
I don't.
when's
I just don't know if I have it in me to see them win an ugly game. I don't.
yeah, right? Because again, Cleveland stinks. And if they win, it'll be like a kind of like a slug them out kind of, a fight till the death kind of game. Like I don't think they're blowing out Cleveland because I don't think this team's
Probably not.
capable of blowing teams out.
Right. Yeah, probably not.
So until coaching changes, and I don't know.
They value the linebacker and
Right.
um
And then they get a quarterback who's decent. Here's a question. I know we've had a lot of conversations about Hurts.
Mhm.
Do you think this team would be better? And this is a random question that I was talking to somebody at work about. Do you think the Eagles would be in a better situation if they had, and I'm just throwing out a name here, Joe Flacco instead of Jalen Hurts?
No. I don't
Joe
think so.
Joe Flacco is doing some decent things. He's still at his age. He's a game manager. But he's not going to make a ton of mistakes. He's going to put the ball where it needs to be. He's not going. Not going to fall.
You know what? I don't know the answer to that question. I don't know.
It's a tougher question than I think you probably thought it was originally.
I just remember his time here, and it was very bad.
Sure.
I don't know. I don't know.
Didn't have the weapons.
I don't even want to think about that. That's the problem. Is like it's a shame that that's even a thought to have to. It's a shame that that's a legitimate discussion point.
I'm just saying, like with the
Not from your angle. I'm saying from the way that the Eagles have played and Hurts has played.
with the weapons that they have, and granted, Devontae and AJ weren't there last week, and AJ's only played one game. But like, I don't know that you need somebody to play hero ball. You just kind of need somebody to manage. And I think Hurts likes the. I think Hurts likes hero ball.
Do you think that Flacco gives them a chance to win a Super Bowl?
No, not a Super Bowl.
Do you think Hurts has a better chance of getting them a Super Bowl than Flacco?
I don't know. I don't know if they can win a Super Bowl with either, to be honest with you.
Well, I think that's your answer, because I think if you say flat out no to Flacco and then you sit there and you're not sure about Hurts, I think that's still better.
Yeah, yes, but the way that I look at it is I think you need a good quarterback to win a Super Bowl. See, I'm going to contradict myself because, like, I don't think Foles was great. He just had three, phenomenal games.
Really.
Right.
2.5.
But right. But like, I don't know, like Hurts almost won them a Super Bowl 2 years ago. Like,
right, but that defense was. Oh, I'm talking the Foles one. That defense was. Granted, they gave up a ton.
They gave up. They gave up 50 points in the Super Bowl.
No, sure.
Or whatever, a 33-point, whatever
Absolutely,
it was.
But they were a really, really almost a great defense that whole year. Even in the playoffs, they gave up 7 to Minnesota at home. Even the defense 2 years ago, they gave up 300 to Mahomes, but for the most year they must break a sack record. Like, I just don't think that defense is anywhere near those 2 Super Bowl defenses. That's why I don't think you could just plug in Flacco or Nick Foles. You know what I mean? Like a Nick Foles type of thing. But I also don't think Hurts has been as bad as. I don't think you do too, as bad as what some people have said. You're probably a little bit more off of him than I am. Which I understand. Hurts? Yeah. Like, I think Chris is totally off of him. I think you're in the middle. And I think I'm kind of in the middle, but a little bit closer.
With every game I watch, I'm more and more off.
Sure. I just don't know how much of that is the quarterback versus the coach, because I genuinely do believe that Sirianni is still.
Yeah, what's the point of having coordinators? It's the same exact offense. Same exact thing.
It looks exactly the same. They ranked second, or I'm sorry, last year, what's his name? Kellen Moore was with the Chargers. They ranked 9th in pre-motion snap, where this year they were ranked like 20th, I think it was.
Yeah.
So like, what does that tell you? Like the same thing is
yeah.
still happening.
Mhm.
I've seen a couple of different stats that I didn't send in the group chat, the Phired Up group chat, because I don't want Chris to hate me. So I want to see if I could try to find. Oh, the one that I sent the other day. So the Eagles have ran 23 plays under center and only 6 plays of play action, both ranked 30th in the league. Those numbers reek of Nick Sirianni-led offense, and that's absolutely not what was advertised this offseason.
For sure. But you got anything else? I think I'm ready to wrap. We're having baby, baby's got to change and all that shit. I don't know if you hear him crying in the background, but things are getting a little messy.
I wish we were able to talk a little Flyers, but
I wanted to, but we'll
what
see
next
for
week?
next week because
We'll have what, 2 games
they
talk about?
play
Friday, Saturday?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
all right.
But so we're gonna get out of here. Let's see if I can do this outro real quick, and then we'll get out of here. We will see everybody next week. See you then.